Now then, and welcome back to another episode of Magic the Gathering Arena. Today I encounter the questing that I need to get through. Cast 30 white or blue spells, and then win some games, and gain some XP for the weekly wins, and another booster, and all that kind of stuff. So I've got rewards to gain, and earn, and do. So, a white-blue deck. To cast 30 white-blue spells in the shortest space of time. I did come up with this idea over here. A blue-white control, a kind of an old-school version of blue-white control, from paper version of Magic the Gathering. I hope that it's going to work, but I haven't tested it yet. I'm going to test it in today's episode. Also, as you can see here, Thomas's deck. My youngest decided he wanted to learn how to play Magic the Gathering, so we built him a little mono-white weenie deck with lots of life gain that he plays against Sparky. And he's doing fairly well, it's not bad. And I've also got a you-know-nothing Jon Snow deck, which is interesting, but not yet ready. I did play a couple of games of Ranked with the Jon Snow deck, and it was okay. I did get to gold tier 4 with the Wild Growth Reef, Mono Black, and Jon Snow decks. And then we kind of had some fun with this. And today I need to do blue-white. And none of them really fit the blue-white, unless I want to do 30 matches of each, really. So, blue-white control. Let's have a look, see what we've got in this one. Let's do a little deck tech. So, as you can see, it is a 60-card deck. The mana curve goes from a lot of 1-drops, 11 1-drops, 4 2-drops, and then a load of 3-drops. And then we start like dealing with our opponent's board and getting rid of things with Settle the Wreckage and Ixalan's Binding. Very, very controlling their side of the board to get rid of stuff. Also a Cleansing Nova if all else fails, and a Time Wipe, just in case we get to that point. It gets us basically 10 options for dealing with the threats that we're going to be encountering. Let's go through the creatures first, though. So, Spell Pierce aside, we've got a Healer's Hawk ×2, this Salamander Drake, and the Stormtamers. Stormtamer is great for countering the spells or abilities targeted to me, such as countering a Settle the Wreckage, or I think that is a target. I'm not sure. A creature you control, yeah, so it gets rid of some creature I control. So I've got those, and a little bit of early game lifelink is no harm. So there's 10 cards there. So there's kind of a theme going here. There's 10 cards there. There's 10 cards of massive removal over there. Then we've got these 10 creatures that can basically win the game for me. Azor, the Lawbringer. Pretty good 6/6 flyer for 6. When he enters the battlefield, each opponent can't cast instant sorcery spells during that player's next turn. Pretty useful. And whenever he attacks, I can pay mana and gain life and draw cards, which is pretty awesome. The Primal Dawn. Flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. The only thing it's missing is lifelink, and I'm sure I've got a way in the deck somewhere to give him that. It's an 8/8 for 8, basically, because it's double strike, but it's 4 first strike, 4 in the double strike. So 8/8 for 8. Pretty good. Massive. Wins the games, right? The other game changer, Gideon the Oathsworn. Gideon the Oathsworn. Until the end of turn, becomes a 5/5 soldier creature that's still a planeswalker, prevent all damage. So basically, a 5/5 that I can turn on, attack, around doing all the Settle the Wreckages and Cleansing Novas and Time Wipes and all that kind of stuff as well. I still got a 5/5 on the board, straight after a Cleansing Nova to attack in and start beating them down while controlling my control spells. We've also got a couple of Resplendent Angels. A couple of Resplendent Angels because I need some early game stuff as well, you see. So we've got some 3 mana early game stuff in Resplendent Angels. The Resplendent Angels are very, very good. Late game as well because it gets a little bit of lifelink. It's a 5/5 lifelinker when I can start using 6 mana in that respect. We've also got a Gideon Blackblade, who is another one of those big creatures. It's another 4/4, but this one can give lifelink indestructible or vigilance to one of my other creatures, such as the Primal Dawn, which is great as well. So we've got a nice little set of creatures back there. Then we're moving on to the Planeswalkers. We've got Shahili, the Sublime, just so that we can get some more 1/1 creatures out there for blockers. And creatures can become other creatures. So I could gain another Resplendent Angel. I could technically... nothing else, all the other legendary. So the Resplendent Angel, or the Healer's Hawk, or the Salamander, or the Stormtamer. All of these are possible. So I could turn a Servo into a Salamander Drake, and then adapt it, and then when it goes back, it's a Servo creature 1/1 with 4 adapted tokens on it. Kind of something like that, but whether or not that ever works, I don't know. But it's in there. It's in there for this kind of, like, I need a Servo to gain flying and lifelink. I need a Servo to sack it in case they have a go, or just need flying, whatever. Yeah, I can do that, and also Resplendent Angel, I can do it so the Resplendent Angel gets a go as well. Right, so there's that. And I just like having the ability when I'm playing a spell-based deck, when I've got loads of spells, then that's a lot of creatures that can come out on top of the spells, which is nice. Narset, Parter of the Veils, draw cards, yes. Draw cards, yes. Draw cards, more draw cards. Stops them drawing more cards. Good. Teferi, the Time Raveler, I'm really not a fan of Teferi, but I don't use him often enough. In this case, I can cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. And there's quite a few sorcery spells. And also return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand, withdrawing a card, which is good. And that can work through quite nicely to be able to return creatures and control the game with all of this going on, right? Then we've got our spell, like stopping power. We've got 4 Sinister Sabotage. We've got 2 Essence Scatters, 2 Negates, 1 Spell Pierce, and an Absorb. So we've got a lot of early game. We've got 5 potentially in my starting hand of spells that I can stop things happening, and Sinister Sabotages and Absorbs for a bit later on in the game. When we need to gain life and that as well, or surveil what we're getting next to settle our mana base. Mana-wise, I've only actually got 20 land. I've got 5 of these planes, 4 of these planes, a Glacial Fortress for if I have planes, it comes out untapped. Then I've got 5 of these islands, 4 of these islands. I do like being able to pick my islands, as you can tell, right? 4 of these ones, and then a Hallowed Fountain. So I've technically got a differing amount, but a decent amount of each colour, with 11 sources of each colour. By the looks of that, 11 sources of each colour, 20 land overall. So I'm hoping that my early game control will, in fact, lead to victory while my land slowly but surely builds up so that I can use the 6 and 7 mana and 8 mana spells at the end game. If I get stuck with one of these in my starting hand, I'm not going to be greedy and keep it. I think I need to mulligan that one out of the way. And they do give me some discard choices, but I've only really got 3 high-powered cards in my deck. Everything else is very controlling and sorting. Even the Resplendent Angel, a 3/3 for 3 that's flying, is just a nice early game Resplendent Angel. Sinister Sabotages and all that kind of stuff. It's all very, very early game until we get to turn 4 where we start beating their deck and being controlling and waiting for our mana to build up while they run out of cards. That's the idea. That's a long deck tech. Let's see how many games we can get in. Okay, so we're in best of 1 play. I'm just testing it out with best of 1 play, only to win the quest rewards. I'm not really trying to rank up with this deck yet. See if it works first. So 2 land, all the colours, Healer's Hawk and Stormtamer, an Essence Scatter, a Negate, and a Part of the Veils. That looks like a very good starting hand, and basically does all the things that I was expecting it to do. I'm going to have something very early game to start attacking them and giving them options to a target, and then I've got a few counter spells in order to stop that happening. So we'll start with the Healer's Hawk, because getting a bit of lifelink is always great. Early game lifelink puts us ahead of whatever creature feature deck this is going to be. Cindervines. Okay, so whenever opponents cast a non-creature spell, Cindervines deals 1 damage to that player. Okay, sacrifice, destroy, artifact or enchantment, deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. Okay, so every time I cast a non-creature spell, I'm going to take 1 damage. So I do really need this healing now, don't I? So let's go out with this and Stormtamer up. And I'm glad I've got some creature spells, is all I can say. Gain that life from the Healer's Hawk so that I can cast Niset, part of the Veils, and not have to worry about it. Whenever a creature with power 4 or greater enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on him. Okay, no worries. I've got a Sinister Sabotage here. This can enter the battlefield. I'll pay 2 life. And part of the Veils to lose another life.
If you wish to surrender,
and draw another card.
I understand. I have just the trick for this.
Let's put the Absorb into my hand and the rest in the bottom. So now we will fly over for all the damage and gain some life back. That'll do nicely. So we've already got our opponent down to 5. He's probably going to kill Narset in the next turn because he's got this. Well, he can only do 2 damage. It's got double Cindervines. Well, that's horrid, isn't it? Put 2 in. Go. Go for it. Yep. It's not 2 to my face.
You could use some training.
Alright, so now I've run out of steam. Now I've got 2 counter spells and I don't have anything else. So we're going to keep the Stormtamer back to defend. And we're going to attack in with the Healer's Hawk. I know the Pet Collector is probably going to come in on it as well. That's fine. Don't mind. But we're going to start our counter spell strategy now. We can get... we've got 4 counter spells and an Ixalan binding. Ixalan's binding, which we'll probably take one of those out. Every time I do a counter spell, though, I'm going to take a damage. So there is that. Healer's Hawk is going to be my super friend right now. Both coming at me. Okay, so let's block the Wrangler. Just because. I've got plenty of counter spells in my library already. Pet Collector go down. I should have thought about that one. Pet Collector going down, but still. The other one was potentially bigger and nastier. Didn't cast another spell. Saw that I had open mana. Okay. Let us bring another Stormtamer out. Show willing. And attack in for 1. We can do a beatdown. We can do a beatdown. We can see how it goes. He's going to attack in for 2. I'll attack him for... Oh, dear. We can't allow that. That's not allowed. Can't allow it. Nope. Not having a Dread Horde. Nope. I'll take 2 damage. I'm fine with that. I'm not having a Dread Horde, though. No chance. Any more for any more? Put a counter on target creature and proliferate. Okay, so now we need to binding him out the way, don't we? No blocks. All good. Another one of them. Good, good. Okay, so now I do need to do this. Let's get rid. We're going to take a damage off those. Or 2 damage off those. That's not going to be 4 damage to the face anymore, is it? Non-land permanent. That one. Thank you. And then attack. And start getting some life back. Okay, so we don't have any counterspell up, but now we only have to worry about one of those Cindervines. Okay, still good. There's no attack in this turn at least. Now we've got to settle the wreckage to keep open. So let us charge. Charge! Do some more damage. Keep ourselves afloat. We're winning the battle. Are we going to win the war? Settle the Wreckage up. They don't know necessarily what's going on. They've double attacked, that's good. So we'll Settle the Wreckage to get rid of those two. Take a damage off the vines. Thank you. And get rid of both of their creatures. So now you can do about it. Good, good. Now I can't counter any of their spells, so whatever they're playing next could be horrendous. But they are only on 5 mana available. Five mana available. Are they looking at doing something with that 5 mana? Please? Anything? Nope, they're not doing anything, are they? Oh, they are. They're doing another Leyline Prowler. Okay. That's okay. Oh, look. Gideon. Yes, a Gideon, and then we've got a Negate. Resolve it. Thank you. And a Gideon. I could have negated my own Gideon. That's the thing, isn't it?
I walk a righteous.
So we will gain a lifelink until the end of turn. Oh, he didn't like it. He didn't like that. Oh, victory to us. So we gain control and then we stemmed the flow. With that little 1/1, Healer Hawk, stem the flow of blood from my head. There we go. Let's try another one. Now, technically at this stage, we only need to cast 10 more blue-white spells. Right? And this is... I don't like those two in there. This is... At least I've got one of each colour. But no, I'm going to mulligan it. I get 3 land. I get to be able to do the absorb. I get to do everything I can. Yes, this is good. And we can wait around for 3 turns to get an Ixalan's Binding. You'd expect a third of the deck. Every 3 draws, draw in a land. A third of the deck. Every 3 draws, draw a land. That's what it should be like, isn't it? I know when I used to shuffle my deck, I used to shuffle it in such a way that we'd keep it like that. So I think I'm going to get rid of Stormtamer. Just because I know that the Pteramander will at least survive for a little while, and maybe I'll have enough mana to sort it out at the end. Because it is number of instants and sorcery cards in my graveyard. Make it better, doesn't it? Oh, it's a red deck. What I wouldn't give right now for that little bird with lifelink to be on my side instead of this Pteramander, who might become a big bird. It's a goblin deck as well. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so now we've got an absorb and a Sinister Sabotage up. So whatever they play next, we've got to counter them down while we build up our mana to the Ixalan's Binding. And we don't have a win con, but we might get rid of most of their hand by counter. Legendary. Let's counter that one. Goodbye, Kinpeng Street. Legendary. We're not having that. He's not having that. No way. Attack with 2. That's okay. Alright, we'll stick that in. And we can afford to do another Pteramander. And still have Sinister Sabotage open. They have 1 card in the library at the minute, making it a 6 cost to transform into a 5/5 flyer. These goblin decks do have burn, but I think you'll probably be waiting for the burn in order to clear the decks at some other point. And opponent's going to try to draw out a counterspell probably now, thinking the counterspell's open, and they're going to draw out a counterspell. That's definitely drawing out a counterspell. I can foretell that is definitely going to get a counterspell. Thank you. I don't really need another creature right now. And in for 2, of course. No blocks. Okay, another land. Good, good. Now I could Ixalan's Binding that goblin to prevent some damage, but I have a feeling there's going to be something bigger coming out. And that 2/2 goblin can get eaten up by a Pteramander a bit later on. I've got plenty of turns left of that. Crate Walker. 2 damage to target creature. Destroy colourless non-land permanent. Okay. Destroy a colourless non-land permanent or 2 damage to target creature. Okay. Well, if he wants to start sacking his own goblins for that, then that's fine. Lava Coil in. Okay. No counter spells. He's seeing that I've got no counter spells. I've now got a Spell Pierce. I'm going to attack. I could also Spell Pierce, but do I really want to Spell Pierce? Do I want to Ixalan's Binding this? You can't afford to do it right now, so now would be a good time to sack it off. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk it because... Just because. I'm going to risk it just because. I've still got plenty of turns of beating him down with this 1 damage, and hopefully I'll draw into something that can control the game again. At the minute, though, Red Deck Wins is in control. Be nice to see some action, though. It can't be that hard to play this. You got 4 attacking, and you've got 4 cards, and you got 4 mana. So 4s. Roll of 4s here, boy. Roll of 4s. Come on, it shouldn't be taking that long. Yeah, we'll Spell Pierce that one because he's only got 1 life left. 1 mana left. Yes. Spell Pierced. Oh, my days. Now he's going to get like annoyed, and he's going to sacrifice one of them goblins and throw the goblin at my Pteramander. And we're like, rah, 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 rah. No, he's going to fight first. Good plan, mate. Good plan. So 13 plays 14. About to be 13 plays 13. But can I get something big out of the deck now? I'm on 5 mana, so any of the Gideons would be nice. Some more counter spells would be good as well. Wouldn't mind a counter spell per turn. Another couple of turns of counter spelling. Oh, he is. He is sacrificing himself to destroy the Pteramander. Okay. But then I get a Gideon, so... But I do. Okay, I go. Yep.
I march into battle as your champion.
Submit 0. There we go.
I believe in you.
What you gonna do, kid? You're gonna have to do 5 damage. He's indestructible. He's indestructible as a 4/4. You're gonna have to do 5 damage to him directly now to get him off the board. And Ixalan's Binding is in my hand, which you don't know about. I don't know what's in your hand either. But Ixalan's Binding is in my hand to stop your goblin from paying me any more problems. And he's probably got creature removal spells. If he had creature removal spells like Shock and all that, he would have used them, wouldn't he? Banefire deals 4 damage to Gideon, and then he smacks it. Okay.
I am not quite indestructible.
Not quite indestructible. Okay. And yeah, I see that as the only way to do this now. I thought about doing it before. But then I didn't get a... Well, I did get a chance. I could have done it before I cast Gideon out. But he would still manage to do some kind of Banefire on me. Oh, Kingpin. Tin Street Kingpin again. Okay. Well, I've got another binding for you. Oh, I've got to settle the wreckage for you. Okay, so these are going to create goblins. Okay, so he's going to create 1 goblin token. I do not want that to happen. I don't even want 1 goblin. I could manage a load of goblins, but I don't want him to start racking up a load for me to settle. I would rather get rid of him so he can't cast any more. Seems to me he's only got like 3 actual goblins in his deck so far. these swab goblins, kinpins. I'll now Siege Commander. There you go. That teaches me some more. But when they all attack, I can Settle the Wreckage those. Let's just hold up Settle the Wreckage. See what he's going to do about it. He's probably going to sacrifice and deal 2 damage to me for each of the goblins, maybe. But that's only if he doesn't cast something right now. He's got 5 damage incoming and a volley veteran. Target creature. Mate, that's a target creature. So that's not going to work because I don't have a target creature right now. Do I take the first 5 damage and let him attack with a volley veteran as well? Get rid of them all. And the bandit. Oh man, okay. So he's got no mana for sacking out his Siege Gang commander. He's literally playing his whole deck right now. So I'm going to let this 5 through. I'm going to hold up a negate and Settle the Wreckage. But I've got to Settle the Wreckage next turn. I cannot not Settle the Wreckage. I've got to Settle the Wreckage the next turn. And he's potentially then down to his final couple of cards. He will get a lot of mana. That's got a really big stack. He's down to 60 cards now for his red deck. Presumably he's played against a lot of other things. Discard a card, draw 2 cards. Presumably he's played against a lot of milling decks. And so just keep adding all the goblins you can think of to the deck and make it bigger, better, nastier. It's got another mana. What's it gonna do? Okay. It's giving him +2 until the end of turn. Yes. And another +2 till the end of turn. And then they all attack. And you get a Mentor trigger. Good, good. Okay. Good game. Settle the Wreckage! Oh dear. It's a good game, good game, good game, good game. Yeah, well done. Excellent. Now I'll Settle the Wreckage on your face. So now he's got 1 spell remaining in his hand. A spell that costs more than 2 that he didn't want to use in the last combat. Now he gets loads and loads of mana. It's possibly something like another blast fireball type thing. What did he have before? Banefire. He had Banefire before. Can you imagine next turn? It's a Banefire for 11. Okay then. So now we've got Teferi Time Raveler or Narset. Let's Narset. And let's draw off her. Let's get ourselves an Essence Scatter. We have the mana up for an Essence Scatter. I've got a Negate to an Essence Scatter then. Yes. Let's Essence Scatter. So if he tries to play another creature, we've got him down. If he tries to play something like a Banefire, we can't counter it anyway. Banefire for 11? No, just an Oriana. God, yeah, just a normal thing. Let's just Essence Scatter it. I know he's probably got something bigger coming through, and that means that I've got no mana open for the Negate. What is that final card? It is War Chief. Has haste. Has haste, will travel. Goblins you control have haste. Okay, so I counted a 2-1 for him to get a 2-2 out. Very clever. I can now Teferi. Teferi.
Trust me. You'll thank me later.
-3 to return that to his hand.
I'll protect you.
Leaving open an Essence Scatter. getting myself a plains in the meantime. Narset can get me another card out, please.
And prepare.
Another Narset. Another Narset seems good, yeah. And we've got a Negate and Essence Scatter on tap for the next one, which is probably going to play that creature again. That 2/2 with haste. Oh, the Instigator. Okay, we're going to let him have the Instigator. 2 little 1/1s. Because the other one gives all goblins haste. That's the one I don't want. Now we've got something that can block at least. And I could possibly adapt it already as well. Yep, and I've still got a Negate open. Okay, so let's start plussing Teferi. So at least he'll survive the next round. Narset could die, that's okay. You can get one past Narset. That's not too bad. Let's see what we get. The Pteramander could be my winning strategy here. The Negate in hand and not a counterspell. Was it wise to get the Narset? I don't know. But Narset will draw me 2 more cards in a bit, won't it? Yeah. So let's bring that in tapped. We're okay with that. We can up this again. Because we should.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
And do we attack now? I think we do. We're going to attack him for 5 flying. Going to put him down on the clock. He's now got 2 turns to beat me. He can't beat me with the 2/2/2s. The Negate coming down would help. He might attack into my Planeswalkers. I can bounce whatever he does bring down with Teferi if I need to during those 2 turn timers. Especially if it's a flyer of some kind, like some great big dragon or something. So I think I've got this sewn up with a Pteramander. I think I've got this one turned up. It's quite a long game. It's been drawn out. The opponent's had a lot of thinking to do. For a Goblin deck, anyway. If it was control versus control, then I'd understand all the thinking. But a Goblin deck, you kind of just want to play, attack, attack, attack. If you're not going sideways, then there's something wrong with you. He's attacking Teferi, and he's attacking me. Okay.
No
we'll do
more
that.
games.
So he's got something in his hand that he wants to play that he doesn't want me to bounce. Ooh. Okay, so now Pteramander, grow it. Attack over the top. We can plus him.
Here goes nothing.
We can save the Negate because we need to. Narset may be potentially keeping him from drawing cards. Yeah, that's not going to stop you. You can go in with 2, that's okay. So definitely dead next turn if he can't kill both of my Pteramanders. The little 1/1 for 1 in blue. I'm so pleased to have put in the deck. I would have really liked to have seen the little hawk with lifelink, but you can't have everything, can you? Doesn't really matter. He's possibly got something that does -5 or does 4 damage to me. Or the creature. Let's just block it. Take 1. He can do 4 damage to me, or I can negate it. Can't do any of that, so let's just end it. Swing for 5, 10. Yeah, good game. Thank you very much, opponent. So, it wouldn't be fair of me not to open the pack that we just won in front of your very eyes to see what we get. If it's something awesome, thank you very much. Well, we get another one common, which is good, because I've been running out of those. And the Desecrated Elemental itself, Yarok. Permanent enter the battlefield, causes a triggered ability of permanent you control to trigger. That ability triggers an additional time. It's a very cool thing. It's a 3/5 lifelink death touch, which is also a very cool thing. I really like it. Legendary creature elemental. It would just be so cool to build a deck around it. So thank you very much for watching. Maybe you'll see a deck around that in the next episode. Until then, thank you very, very much. I have been Nemsun, your host. I will see you in the next episode, coming very soon. Goodbye.